Hey Jay, do you think if an anime is full CGI, does that mean I have a real 3D girlfriend?
No, I think you're still just single.
Have you
Yeah,
ever felt
that's upsetting.
Are you listening? Damn. Yeah.
Okay, Vin, CGI. Good, bad, or ugly?
Good, bad, and sometimes horrible. Good, we got Land of the Lustrous and Vivi. Bad, we have Ajin, and then horrible, everything else.
Okay, so
Uh,
let's talk about some good examples of CGI because I think there's a notion that when you hear CGI in anime, it instantly brings bad reactions. But we have been proven to that CGI can look really good as a medium. And like you said, I think Land of the Lustrous is a perfect example of that. The show's absolutely beautiful.
yeah, it's very clean. Um, it doesn't feel weird and clanky like a lot of anime 3D anime do. Uh, it loses doesn't have a robotic feeling to it, and they don't do weird facial expressions that are 2D on a 3D character.
I'm not sure if so. The color palette of Land of the Lustrous is very vivid, if that is the right word. I'm not
Mm,
like I feel like it. I feel like usually when we see CGI, it's very bland colors. I feel like the color palette of Land of the Lustrous really led into making the CGI look nicer.
oh, 100%. Like a lot more, uh, definitely huge amount of color depth. Um, you know, a huge variety in blues. Like each color had its own variety. It wasn't just red. It wasn't just Roy G. Biv the entire time.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it is probably the best example we have of CGI anime, and other than Vivi, which kind of just uses CGI enhancements. Um, I hate to say that I think Land of the Lustrous might be our only actually good full CGI show.
Then yeah, that I can think of. We have yet to stumble upon anything that tops it. Um, Even off the top of my head, uh, like every 3D anime I've seen just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Like Berserk, um, Ajin, one of the other ones that we were talking about. Oh, was it Tesla Note? Tesla Note was so bad, man. That it made me never want to watch another CGI anime ever again.
I mean, in the new Seven Deadly Sins, that's a series I actually enjoy, and the CGI is so bad. I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I kept up until they went to the CGI, and I haven't even watched it. I didn't even test it to see if it was good or not. I just as soon as I heard that it was CGI and I saw like a couple of clips of it, it was just oh my god. And a lot of
It
people are
looks.
upset about it.
I think some of the words you used perfectly describe how I feel about the Seven Deadly Sins in CGI. It looks fake. It looks robotic. It looks almost expressionless. There was like they did the eyes really nice, but every anime does eyes really nice, whether it's CGI or not.
Yeah,
It's like the one few things that like most people, at least in full CGI shows, like usually the eyes are like the only decent part, in my opinion.
yeah,
They put a lot of attention to detail into the eyes.
yeah. And for good reason too. I think just in like if you, I have a film background, and the what you're taught is like all your expression is in your eyes realistically. So you want to make sure that you can capture as much as that. Like the facial expressions are one thing, but you can really like hammer it down with like proper eye alignment and everything. And anime does that so great.
It really does.
Yeah,
But CGI is still not good. Good eyes is not all you need.
yeah.
But yeah, I think. See, I wish that they didn't use CGI as a money saver because it shows. Like I
Yeah, it does.
understand it's cheaper, it lead to less work
Yeah, it cuts down
for
on
the
production
employees,
costs, time.
but it's not worth it. I don't think. I don't think you come out with a good product when you use CGI like 99.9% of the time. It's such a disappointment. It's so hard to watch. Um, and even then, like when they just throw random tidbits of CGI into regularly animated shows, it sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
it's so obvious that you could have just animated it worse and I would probably not notice. But
yeah.
you use CGI instead.
Yeah, the best examples of that right now are Ari Furietta and By the Grace of the Gods. Every time they use CGI in Ari Furietta, it's like half-assed. Everything again looks robotic. All of the dragons looked like
Mm-hmm.
you'd almost see the polygons and everything. And the they use it in By the Grace of the Gods for things that are
The goddamn carts.
yeah, every
Like
horse-drawn
why?
cart is CGI for some reason, just because I guess it's faster
Everyone.
to do
And
it.
it's like they don't even need the carts there. Like you're adding an intentionally worse asset to your product when it just doesn't have to be there.
Yeah,
It makes no sense to me.
it doesn't make sense to me either. Which is a shame because like if they're gonna use it to don't don't half-ass use it. That's my biggest problem with all of this. Vivi, like we discussed, or like I said before, is a great example of using it with the animation. All the fight scenes, like to enhance the colors and any type
Yeah.
of like fast moving scene was used with CGI, and it did it amazingly, but still kept the 2D aspect of it, and it just did it beautifully. If we can have that, I'd be okay with that just to reduce
Right?
costs, as long as just as a supplement. Like, don't do it fully if you're not going to do it to the quality of Land of the Lustrous.
The thing is, this has been an issue in anime for a very long time.
Yeah.
I recently went back and watched an old show. I think it aired around 2005. Forgive me, anybody out there that catches that being wrong, but Utawari Vermono.
Mm-hmm.
It's dated. The animation's obviously dated, but I think it's still good animation, especially considering the era it came out of. But like whenever they switch to shots of like large scale armies,
Right.
and like like those shots where it's like, oh, look how big my army is, and it kind of like goes up.
Yeah.
They do that all in CGI. Their faces look non-existent, and like I get that to draw that many people would probably have been very difficult, and even probably to make that many. Well, not even because once you have a CGI model, you just need to duplicate it. It was a poorly done model, and it looks like an army of like action figures.
Yeah.
They look plastic, and like this is like 2005, and they're doing this. So it's like
And it hasn't gotten better.
it's almost as if yeah, it hasn't. Like I mean, obviously a CGI horse-drawn cart looks better than a 2005 CGI army, but like it still inherently has the same issues. It's like emotionless. The art is expressionless. The colors are always weird, and it sticks out.
Yeah, and just to further that point though, like the fact that it hasn't gotten better, Overlord, which only came out a couple years ago, the third season I think it was, where they had a huge army. It was second or third season. Had a huge army, and it was like the giant goat monster scene, and you had the. I loved your way of describing them, the toy soldiers running around, and like
Yeah,
it's so bad. Like they didn't take the time to detail. Like, granted, like you said, like I'm sure it takes a lot to draw, but like I would rather. There's so many examples of um, animes that use like just like outlines to
yeah,
showcase large amounts of people. Um, it, I would rather so much rather that than watching.
yeah. I would rather see like the shadows of an army without being able to make out any other features than to see like these really fake plastered on faces.
Yeah, 100%.
And there's one more show I wanted to touch on because I think it does anime or CGI okay. Um, and I think you mentioned it at the beginning, and that's Ajin.
Mm,
It's kind of old at this point. It was a full CGI anime, but even for its time, it wasn't. It obviously wasn't landed illustrious quality. But like, I thought it for 2014 CGI, I thought it was pretty decent.
yeah, but in with that, I didn't like the CGI of Ajin. However, what kept me was that it was a fantastic story. Really, really
Yeah,
thought it was really cool how they did it, and I was able to ignore uh, the CGI of that. Something that you know, like Tesla Note, like I said before, Tesla Note kind of you could probably draw a similar line to both the CGI elements there, but the story was so bad, man.
yeah.
The fact that I finished it, I hate that I do that to myself. Is like as soon as I start something, I have to finish it, and I wish I didn't because I was like biting at. I was oh my god, I almost cracked teeth just clasping down on my jaw so hard.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I wouldn't have been able to sit through something like that.
I
All right. So we're rambling now.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? The CGI, is it good? Is it bad? Or is it ugly? Do you have any other good examples? Any other really bad examples that we should know about? Let us know.
Yeah, and what could they do better for CGI to make us enjoy it more? All right. Well, that's it. Have a good one.
Have a good one, guys.